Hey everybody, Sharon here from VidGamiac.com. Here we are today back in the Chains of Hate update for Dead by Daylight, going for the Quick Draw achievement. This is to interrupt a survivor who is cleansing a totem a total of 10 times. This one's going to be done from the killer side. It's going to be a rather situational achievement, however, it is one that's going to be easily boostable with a stranger. Make sure you locate a dull totem. It's going to be one of those tripods with the skulls on them. There should be a random 5 sprinkled across the map during any game. Once you find one, make sure you try to down a survivor and then pick them up and then bring them over here. Hopefully they understand what you are trying to convey, and what they're going to do, hopefully, if they are going to be helpful, is they're going to try to get on it to cleanse it. What you need to do is you need to make sure you interrupt the cleansing process. So this can either take place by you grabbing them off of the totem, or you can also hit them in order to down them while they are cleansing the totem. Now, whether what method works is going to depend on the current state of the game. Originally, the only thing that counted was going to be hits. However, the game has since been patched, so both methods should ideally work. However, either method may be rectified or worsened depending on the current state of the game. So make sure you do try one or the other or both until you get a method that is actually tracking. So the reason I recommend looking for a friendly stranger to help you out on this is because it's going to be very uncommon to just randomly come across a survivor who's going to be trying to cleanse a totem. There's not going to be any real incentive to a survivor cleansing a dull totem, because the only thing that they are really going to get out of it is going to be blood points. It's also going to take a really long time to try to cleanse a totem, which is going to leave them super vulnerable. And also, if you happen to come by while they are cleansing a totem, they are more likely than not just going to abandon it, since it's not going to be worth the trouble. So just make sure you find a nice stranger who's going to help you out, bring them to a totem, and then make sure you just have them try to cleanse it. Make sure you interrupt them through either method, and then just make sure you let them down and then recover to the point where they can get back on their feet. They should get back to the totem, and just hopefully rinse and repeat until you get the achievement. Hopefully they are a good enough sport to stay here for all 10, and thankfully you can use the same survivor and the same totem for all 10, and hopefully you should be able to get this done in one game. If not, this might take a while, so just make sure you keep looking out for opportunities, and then you should be good for the achievement eventually. And of course, this is way easier than trying to do this legit, because trying to find 10 situations to do this naturally is going to be quite difficult. Now, if you are doing this legitimately, do keep in mind that hex totems are also going to be able to count for this, and hex totems are going to give the survivors a reason to try to cleanse them, as the hex totems are going to put some nasty side effects on them, as they are going to be your perks. Obviously, the more hex perks you run, the better, because that's going to light more dull totems to be hex totems. So if you want a killer recommendation, obviously going to recommend the Hag, as she is going to come with 3 hex perks right from the start, and you can just fill your loadout with as many hex perks as you can. Most hex perks are going to also give you the location of where they are as the hex totem, so you should be able to keep an eye on them, but that's not going to make up for the fact that if a survivor is in the midst of trying to cleanse one of them, if you happen to come anywhere nearby, the survivor is more likely than not going to abandon the totem, because it's going to take a very long time to try to cleanse them, and they are going to be super vulnerable. So again, highly going to recommend the boosting method over doing it legitimately. Nonetheless, once you finally manage to get all 10 in through either method or a combination of both, you should be good for your achievement after your 10th interrupt. It should pop shortly thereafter. There it is. This one's going to be for 40 gamer score, and that's all there is to it.